Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode. Have you ever had a certain life event of yours change the whole lot of trajectory of your life or the way you think, or like, has there been something so close to your heart that it does impact anything and everything when it comes to your life? Because today I'm going to be talking about how motherhood has shaped and impacted my journey both in life and in business. As many of you know, I'm not just a business owner, I have been a workaholic business owner, but now in the past 1 year plus, I've also been a mother. And if there's one thing that I've learned is that motherhood changes every single thing. Like it literally changes every single thing or anything and everything that we know about us, you know, whether it's me, whether if I look at even how my husband works or operates and things, so many things have changed. But yeah, let's not talk about maybe both of us, but it does reshape our priorities, it does test our patience, and at the same time, it deepens our purpose in ways we could have even ever imagined. So, are you ready to know more about how it has impacted me? Welcome to Heartfelt Hustle, the podcast that dives deep into the heart and hustle of entrepreneurship, where our dreams meet reality and where our passions fuel our success. I'm your host, Sushmita Jain, a launch strategist and operations director, founder of an outsourcing agency. Most of my clients call me their right-hand woman, and most importantly, a curious soul as well as a nerd. I am here to share my experiences. I am here to share my insights. I am here to share practical tips that will help you build a thriving and a sustainable business. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or someone looking to infuse more heart into your hustle, I am here and this podcast is for you. Each week, we'll dive into topics ranging from reconnecting to your passions, your soul, your why, and overcoming the roadblocks of your growth journey. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dig into this heartfelt hustle together. Wow, what a topic to have for today's episode. But I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to have a discussion about this because one of the reasons why I am initiating a conversation around this is because where I come from, the thing is, motherhood means somehow, somewhere, in some way or the other, a lot of women actually pause or even just stop being ambitious, and I think even I've seen it so many times and so often as a kid and as I was growing up as well, that I had this fear that, okay, if I become a mom, I might even have to give up on my ambition. I might actually have to, do things differently than I usually do, or I would literally have to become an entirely different or an entirely alternate person of who I am. And yeah, so I had all of these perceptions about motherhood, I guess subconsciously, that, for a lot or quite many years, I actually did not even ever think about it. And motherhood had a very different or very drastic impact on me when it comes to me thinking about it as well. But here's the thing, and here we are, I'm a mother of a 1 year old, and I have been running my business. I have been doing more things actually than I was doing before I became a mother. And I have been having so much fun as well. So being a mother can or is not ever going to limit us with anything. It is definitely going to impact us. It is definitely going to change things for us and how we operate, but it is not in any way going to, like limit us. And that's exactly why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys. And I guess I even just maybe wanted to reflect back and, talk about this and see how many of you guys do resonate with this as well. So let me take you back to the time when I became a mother, because when I became a mother, I was there right in the OT. Yes, I did have like a C-section delivery. So I was in the OT, not in the labor room. And, my baby was handed for 2 seconds, like legit 2 seconds. I was conscious in the OT, and I was literally even having chat with the doctor. So I was in the OT. It was very funny, but yeah, even my doctor was very surprised at how strong I am and how I'm having a chat with them and conversation with them. But yeah, so when I saw my son for the first time, there was this overwhelming joy, and but at the same time, there was also this sense of responsibility, like immense sense of responsibility, which made me think that how am I going to do this? Like, that's it. How am I going to be the best mom I can be for this little guy and still pursue my dreams? Because it was a question that was, while there in the OT, in between all of those people, that was the first question that did come in my mind. I have never even ever talked about this or shared this with anyone. So you guys are the first ones to actually know about this. So it's going to be interesting when my even husband listens to this episode. But yeah, here we are, So yeah. So yeah, and that moment is a special moment, and just talking about it on this podcast episode makes me just, a bit of emotional, but coming back to things because, it was one of those magical moments in your life you always want to remember. And I'm glad I do remember it as well. But that did change everything. Like, I remember once when I was, in having a chat with one of my friends, and she sent me one of those funny, images or funny memes where she was more like, would you be like this? And that was more of, like a bride who working in her wedding dress on her wedding day, and like the caption being like, when you're a bride but you don't want to let your clients down as well, kind of thing. So she's like, would you be like this when it's time for you to literally give birth? And I'll be like, and I was literally like, don't worry, I'm not going to be that way. And I'm glad I wasn't, because to be very honest, if you ask me, or even if I think about it right now, 2 or 3 years prior from now, if I had to, or if I have to actually look back and think about something that has drastically changed as me being a mom, would be that I never would have thought ever in my life that I would take a 3-month break from my business. But I did for this little guy, because I was on a 3-month maternity leave. I trained my team. I made sure my husband knew, because I and my husband work together. So we are like, the dynamic duo who are, chasing dreams and working on things together and stuff. So I made sure he knew anything and everything that needed. Obviously, he would, if there was anything needed, ask me about it. But I was not even at my home or, with my husband back then. I was at my parents' place for all 3 months. And he was like, yeah, you have to be there, because if you would be here, you would try and be bossy and try and see what's happening, how it is happening and stuff. So I never, ever in my life thought that I would take, such a kind of break, but I did. And that's all because I became a mother. It wouldn't have actually ever happened in any other case. I remember when I was, diagnosed with. So I remember that time when, I was diagnosed, and I was diagnosed basically with tuberculosis years and years ago. And I even was on the verge of losing my legs. Even back then, when I was paralyzed, I was bedridden for months. I never stopped working. Like, not that hustle mode working, but, I was going through things, trying things out, trying to make sure and things like that. But right now, if I look back at my maternity leave, it was so different. It was more about making sure I am getting rest. It was more about making sure I am here for this little guy. I have my support system. I have things mapped out. I have people who are here, literally here to help me and my son, and husband has taken the responsibility of working on things. Then why not take this moment and just be here for him, you know? So, yeah, like I would have never thought about, things being this way in any other way. So, definitely one thing that I wanted to talk about. And, you know, this is something that I'll never forget, because it's more about, and when I became a mother, or when I actually decided that I wanted to try and, go through the process of trying and becoming a mother, because obviously it's a long procedure. Like, you try, you conceive, then there's those 9 months. So during all of those times, while I made the decision that, okay, now I feel ready, I'm going to start working towards this, I made a decision that I would shape the way I approach both my business and my life in a way where I can be present for both and have it balanced and have things worked out, so that I can take time for myself as well. Because I want to be present not just for him, but I also want to be present and take care of myself, so that I'm not leading from an empty cup. And from that moment on, I knew I had to find a way to do both. Be a mom and be a business owner, or be an entrepreneur, and work my way and, get things organized, get things sorted, and so on. But obviously, life is life, right? And let me be honest, like, it hasn't been easy. Like, balancing motherhood with entrepreneurship has been one of the most challenging things I have ever done. There have been sleepless nights. I'm not going to say no. There have been endless to-do lists as well, because, there's this new little person who is the most demanding person in my life. But there are moments also, like, I've literally had those moments where it's like, maybe am I failing at both, or maybe I'm not being that great mom, or, all of those kind of things. But through it all, I've learned one thing, and that is I am, and I've always done this, but somehow when you're going through it, you're literally like, how will I be able to do it? And that is to be able to adapt. I became more efficient with my time. I have started having or maintaining clear boundaries. I have learned to prioritize what truly matters. I have realized that I don't have to do it all at once. And plus, I am someone who loves the power. I'm someone who would kind of keep the control in my hand. But I've changed that as well. I know it's okay to ask help. And I know without my support system, whether the support system which is helping me with running my home, or whether the support system which is helping me run my business, all of this would be like a dream, literally. Because, like, motherhood has taught me patience, motherhood has taught me resilience, motherhood has also taught me the art of letting go. And literally, one of the biggest lessons I have had when it comes to becoming a mom is
learning the power of saying no to things that don't or do not serve me. Because these lessons have literally deeply influenced the way I have started running my business. I'm more focused, I'm more intentional, and I'm more committed to building something that not only aligns with my values, but also with the long term vision for what I want to do and how I want my life to look like. So, yeah, definitely something that I feel is what has, changed. And all of this because at the end of the day, I want my son to see that it is possible to build a life you love and the one that doesn't require you to sacrifice what's most important. I say this even to my membership members because, I want us all to have fun while running a business. Until and unless we're not having fun while running a business, we are not going to look forward to come back to it every single day. And if that's not happening, we are not building a business which we want to run in the long term. So I want you to start thinking. Is it what you're doing right now truly lighting you up? Is it what you are saying yes to or thinking about saying yes to is what you want to keep working on over the next few months or next few days if it is a project that is going to take that long? If that is a no, or if you literally thought like I don't know, you need to revisit, you need to reassess, and you need to realign your things. Because I know alignment is a new buzzword we have been hearing all these days right now, that aligned business, aligned life, and all of those kind of things. But I want you to start thinking about actually a business model. I want you to rethink your business model, because even I did shift priorities and it did lead me to rethink my business model. I have designed my business in a way that supports both me, my family, and my clients. Now, the way I train my team is so different versus how I was training my team before. Before, it was, more like, okay, if, I have them, which is great, and I will still keep an eye on them and I will make sure things are on track. Versus now, it's more like, yes, they are there and they have to be good at what they do and make sure that they can handle things even and if I am not here right now at the moment, and still get things done. So it's more kind of like that, because if I'm going to be micromanaging every single thing, how am I going to actually focus on other bits that might need more of my attention in that moment, right? I don't want to have a scattered or focused, basically, I don't want to have a scattered mind where I'm trying to do too many things in the go. I did not even have a podcast before. I used to do a lot many live videos, but then in between, because my focus was only to grow my agency, I was not even doing them because I was focused more on just the client work, the referrals, and we still have our referrals and we still have our clients. Literally our agency is almost kind of fully booked, but apart from that, I'm also making sure I am doing other things which do excite me, which is things like masterclasses where I'm sharing my experiences, things like podcast where I'm having these conversations with you, things like actually opening up and initiating conversations via my written post, things like Reel where I can be more creative even with a very short form video content, still express myself. I never ever thought that I could create short form videos because I talk too much. I've been trying to, make these episodes for the podcast smaller, but I've been finding it really, really hard, But Reels, I've managed to still stick to the 90 seconds, and that I am really proud of. super proud of. So yeah, think about it. And the reason why I am having this conversation with you is because just like motherhood was my life event that triggered change, that was the initiation point for all of these, changes in my life and business. You need to find what's your trigger. You need to find what's going to be your initiation point for you to make the changes you have been craving for. If I wouldn't have been craving for these changes, I don't think I would have actually made them possible. I don't think I would have actually got these changes implemented in me, my life, my business model. So, yeah, think about it, because when you start thinking about this, and even the moment I started thinking about this, that meant that I was putting my systems in place. I was making sure I am sending things, I am sending tasks, I'm sending information, I'm making those SOPs, I am working on all of the groundwork I needed to do. And I was being okay with the fact that my business might grow a bit slower for now, but it's going to grow sustainable. I knew it's not, and I've always thought about it this way. I know it's not about working more hours, but it's more about working smarter and making the most of the time we have. Because if we're just gonna keep on working, and working, when are we going to do the other bits? When are we going to live the actual life? Why we decided to do what we were or what we are doing, right? So whether you are out there juggling business and family life, whether you are out there trying to put on too many hats and, get all things done, I want you to know this. You are doing an amazing job. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Remember that it's okay to evolve, to take breaks, and to redefine your paths as you go. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to slowly, obviously you do need to have like a long-term vision, but you also need to slowly figure it out step by step, and you don't have to do it alone. You can, and when I say you don't have to do it alone, I'm not saying you need to literally at this moment go and hire a team. What I'm saying is you don't have to do it all alone by yourself. You can do it and you can brainstorm and work things out with your friend. You can do it and brainstorm and work things out and make your plan for growth, or make your plan for, changes you make or changes you might want to make via having conversations in the communities you're part of, asking questions, initiating conversations, making those notes, literally having or brain dumping your thoughts. Because, I've also noticed this myself, and I'm saying this based on who I am as a person as well. When I thought I'm being a workaholic, I was so used to just, it all being about work, that I hardly would even reconnect with my emotions. I hardly would even reconnect with what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way. I would rather just wake up, have my breakfast, maybe even do kind of a meditation or something. And then all I would do is think about work, do work, get up, cook dinner, or not cook dinner, just go out with my hubby. And, it is more and all just about work and me not thinking about anything else. But the thing is, with all that's been happening, all the changes that I have been doing, it's made me more creative. It has helped me do more things even with the less amount of time I have, and have fun and be there for my family and be there for my son, have play dates with him, go to amazing places where he can, just explore the world, and I see the world through his lens. And through him trying to figure things out and just being happy about it. And that just brings me so much joy, and you can do it too. I mean, I know I'm not perfect. I still have things to figure out. I still am going to have, a lot more challenges as we go through other and different phases when it comes to motherhood as well. But that's the bit. That's the thing where we just keep it for now that, okay, yes, something else might come, but we will figure it out on the go. We will adapt, we will evolve, and we will change things what and when it needs to be changed, right? So I see how motherhood will definitely, I mean, I literally look forward to see how motherhood will continue to shape my journey. It's going to give me obviously even more deeper sense of purpose because, it's not just the business I'm building. It's me building the legacy. It's me, showing my son how he can build his legacy, how he can make his impact, how he can do whatever he wants to do. So, definitely on that note, I want you to start thinking maybe what is it that you want to change? What is it where you feel you are craving for a change in your life or in your business or how you operate? And share with me either on Instagram or on Facebook, and I would love to know more. And if this is you, not watching, but listening to me for the first time ever, make sure you do leave a review. Make sure you do follow this podcast so that you get notified for all of the upcoming episodes, because we have one episode coming every single week. So on that note, I'm going to be saying bye for now, but see you next week. And yes, bye. Sayonara, Shabakher.